video is a video response to Clarky 1991 BBA's Warhammer story video. Basically just going to have a brief little discussion about how all my time in the hobby and how I've gotten to be where I am today. I think it all pretty much started when I was like 9-10 years old at primary school. There's a few kids who had fantasy books, Orcs and Goblins, and I think one of them had an Empire book or something, and they just showed me this stuff, and I didn't quite understand it at first, but I thought it was really cool when they let me take home a couple White Dwarf magazines and their army books, which I think of it now, and that was bloody generous of them, but I just, got to read through it and read every one of them, cover to cover, and it was just super interesting for me. And when you're little, you just get super amped about that kind of stuff. Anyway, I ended up going into Games Workshop for the first time. Being 9 or 10 years old, had my mum there, and she didn't quite understand it. She thought it was a waste of money, but whatever. Got in there, and there was a bloke called George, and I don't know if they used to do this, but this is like back in 2003, if not beforehand, quite a while ago. No, it's even further ago. Shit. Like 2001. And he gave me he just pulled it out from somewhere. He gave me basically a show bag. It's just a plastic bag that had a Warhammer 40k comic in it, a Khorne Berserker model, and I think there was an old White Dwarf in there. Anyway, just a couple of things, and that was enough because I was set. They had me. And I got super into it. I went in, I think that weekend, and got a painting lesson, and I was actually really quite proud of the model that I did, the Khorne Berserker, considering it was my first job. Anyway, so that was that. I ended up buying a Grimgore Ironhide model because I was going to get into Orcs at the time, and at that time it was 5th edition, and I wanted to get the 5th edition starter set because I had a whole heap of Orcs, had the rulebook, had all that good stuff, and I eventually got it, and that was super wicked. I absolutely loved that. I thought that was brilliant. Then I just think I stopped playing because there was a lack of interest really with the people around me. I also changed school, so I didn't really know anybody who knew it, and I was pretty shy, so I didn't really go into GW that much. When I was 13 years old, I tried to get back into it, but again, nobody around me was really interested in it, so probably looked at, just kind of reading up on stuff, and then was just like, oh, fuck it, don't worry about it. When I was 16 years old, I had a job. Well, I think I had a job a little bit before that, but and I was earning some money, and I was like, well, that was one of the things that always deterred me from the hobby, was the expenses, just how goddamn pricey it is over at Games Workshop, particularly here in Australia. So I was like, sod it, and I went in there and I spent $150 just on a model, a book, and a bunch of paints, because I was planning I was going to get back into this hobby. I was going to absolutely decimate it, and anyway, got home, super amped and stuff, painted up the Chaos Boobworm, my Chaos Lord that I'm sure you've seen in earlier videos if you've been a bit of a fan, and it was crap. Because it was my first real solid attempt in years. It was pretty shit, and I was really unsatisfied with it, and I ended up just walking away. I was just like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore, because that was just the kind of person that I was at the time, and I was just like, I don't want to do this, I'm done. Then when I was 17, I needed a break from schoolwork because I was in my final year of high school. Needed a break from work, needed a break from the missus, who was very draining at the time, or former missus. So I decided, well, what can I do? Because you just didn't really feel like playing music or anything like that. I'm like, I will do something a little bit different, and I sat down and repainted my Boobworm, the Chaos Lord. It was still shit, but it was a vast improvement, and I felt pretty confident that I could improve if I just kept practicing and stuck at it. And I guess I kind of was starting to fade away out of it, and then it was the end of the high school year, and ended up breaking away from said missus, and I don't know, I just kind of hopped on YouTube for something to do, and found, this is during the holidays when I really should have been studying, but instead was on YouTube. And one of the first people that I think a lot of people run into when looking for Warhammer stuff on YouTube is they run into either Devstro or Mini Wargaming or Blue Table Painting, and obviously I found all three of those and really liked their videos. I also ran into Awesome Paint Job, and I think this is like when he wasn't hugely, well, obviously he was well known, but like I don't think he was as big as he is now, well, not by a long shot anyway. And yeah, so those were like the big four guys that, you know, I knew straight off the bat, well, you know, that everybody knew and everybody watched. So yeah, in one of Devstro's videos he linked to a forum called like Bootleg Gamer Nation or something like that, and from that, I think I was on there for like half an hour, but I got linked to a forum called Chamber of the Everchosen, which is a chaos forum, and I spent a lot of time on that. On that forum they had a section called Army Diaries, where basically it was just you know, talk about the progress, you know, put up a couple of stills, get a little bit of feedback, basically just have a thing where you know, talk about what you've been up to. And everybody was doing pictures and everything, and I wanted to be different, and you know, having come from the YouTube, well, watching a few YouTube, I was like, I want to do some YouTube videos, and they were literally just, you know, video, plunk it on, and then I eventually learned a little bit about how to use Windows Media Maker, which I still absolutely detest because it's a shit program. So don't use it, it's horrible. So I was posting videos up and I didn't really get much interest, and then I kind of got to like 20 subscribers, half of which were, you know, like, you know, you just get like random people who just want you to sub back and stuff like that, who just really weren't interested in anything you had to do. And then I think my videos really slowed right down at that point, and I think I was lucky if you got one like once every couple, well, at that point I wasn't really dedicated to the cause. And then I kind of got to the point where I wasn't really keen on doing it, and then almost simultaneously Savior01, I don't know how he found it, but he found one of my videos that I was talking about, you know, I was thinking about doing an Eldar army, and I don't know, just his little comment was really enlightening. Really, you know, it made me feel, hey shit, this is, you know, probably like, fuck, go for it, you know, I'll do this, you know, it's good fun. And at the similar time on the forums, I had a couple of guys who wanted to know whether or not I had died because I hadn't posted up anything for a while, and so I guess that was good inspiration for me to get into that. After that I posted up a video, I think it was called the original, like it's called the original, not the original, but like the first ghost chat, and it was nothing like it is now. It was literally just me rambling on about a bunch of shit. And one of the things I put to a few of my subscribers was, what is it that I need to change to, you know, make this channel more popular? What is it that, you know, you guys want to see more of? And everybody just said, well, just keep doing what you're doing because what you're doing is great. So I guess that was really a big boost of encouragement to just keep doing what I'm doing, and that's what I'm doing. I like to think that I'm improving, obviously, and not only in my editing skills and use the programs that I'm using in photography and stuff like that, but also in my painting skills and in just a few things that I'm making available. So I guess that's how I got to be where I am with YouTube. Now obviously, if you guys have been following my videos, I've got a full Warriors of Chaos army, which I might end up going back to now with fantasy and just adding a few things in, but I'm a little more inclined to start up a new list, probably Lizardmen. I had a bit of a dabble with Dark Elves for a bit. Obviously I got my Eldar at the moment rocking, and that's all cool. And yeah, I like to think that, you know, I'm kind of getting to a point now where my painting is, well, I'm getting a lot of comments on my painting from not just here on YouTube, but obviously when I go down to GW and stuff like that. All I can say to a lot of those is, check out Awesome Paint Job's tutorials. They're fantastic, man. Like, even if they're not, you know, always relevant, just some of the skills that you can pick up are pretty universal. They're really, really helpful. So I guess now I kind of feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm getting a little bit more advanced in the stuff that I'm doing. Not just in painting, but, you know, I'm having a bit of a crack with green stuff now. Not just using GW stuff, obviously using like Privateer Press stuff, Reaper stuff. I've currently got an order in from Maelstrom at the moment that I'm waiting on getting. I'm getting a bit of woodland scenic stuff. I'm also looking at getting some Skullcrafts stuff, which I've seen is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, you know, I'm just really making an effort to get into the hobby and really immerse myself in it, because I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. I really love the community and how much feedback that you get from people, and just how nice everybody is. Like, I've been participating a fair bit in the vent channel in the past few days, and met a bloke called Bezarek, and he is an absolute champion. He is an absolute fantastic guy. He's wicked. So I guess that's my YouTube story, well, Warhammer story from start to finish. Yes, I know it was a long ramble, my apologies. Go check out Clarky's video, which this is a video response to, and leave your own. I mean, it's pretty cool. Talk about it, guys. Catch you later.